is a veritable powder cake ready to explode into an armed skirmish, and is one of the most dangerous areas on Earth that's close to our backyard, or so to speak. Worse, it involves two superpowers, the United States and China. We are talking about the South China Sea and the hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny islands and outcrops which are claimed by China itself and a host of other countries, namely the Philippines, Vietnam, Brunei, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Malaysia. And things are getting very messy indeed. China insists every single island in the whole of the South China Sea is its territory, while the Philippines and Vietnam are in the forefront trying to fend off the mighty economic powerhouse. The delicate situation has heated up, especially in the past year, as a determined China constantly sends in its fleets to fish around disputed islands like the Spratlys, drawing counter moves, especially from the Philippines, which hardly has a navy or air force to speak of. Philippine Coast Guard officers have boldly boarded Chinese fishing vessels, claiming they were fishing in Philippine territory, while an anchor Beijing retorted that is nonsense because the Spratlys and every other island there is historically Chinese territory. A while ago, China even forced Vietnam from one of the islands and took full possession of it. The United States, which views all this as pure intimidation and bullying tactics on the part of China, jumped to the aid of its best pal, the Philippines, giving the Asian Catholic nation a comparatively advanced Coast Guard ship, which Manila immediately deployed near the contested islands. China minced no words in warning the US not to poke its nose into someone else's business, and promptly sent in more fishing boats. The resulting eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation abated when the Philippines called its Coast Guard ship back to port, but the two countries are not stepping back, though none would want to see the situation escalating into armed conflict. In the latest series of moves, China sent a fleet of 30 fishing boats to the disputed Ferry Cross Reef on July 15 to declare the country's sovereignty over the Spratly Chain, much to the Philippines' chagrin. And yesterday, it was revealed that China is setting up a city, starting with a legislative body on the Paracel Islands that are also claimed by Vietnam. Vietnam is unlikely to take this sitting down. Indeed, it's not a dispute over fishing. The South China Sea has become Asia's biggest potential military flashpoint because it's a strategic body of water, is home to one-third of the globe's marine biodiversity, and a transit for one-third of the world's shipping. But above everything else, it contains massive oil and gas reserves beneath its seabed, something a gigantic and growing China would dearly love to get its hand on, though the country is already digging for oil, but not in the disputed waters. The fact that some of the Southeast Asian countries are locked in a battle of wits with giant China has forced them, especially the Philippines, to turn to the US for military assistance. What's worrying is that what started off as a dispute about fishing rights could escalate into a full-blown geopolitical crisis due to nationalism and sovereignty. This is especially true for China and Vietnam, and increasingly the Philippines as well. Under the Obama administration, the US is now following a rebalancing policy towards Asia, and this has come as a boon to some Asian countries which are at loggerheads with China and feel threatened by this rapidly rising economic power. So, against this backdrop, some Southeast Asian countries have generally welcomed the US pivot or rebalancing towards Asia. The Philippines, especially, is looking to strengthen its armed relationship with America and has asked Washington to transfer excess military equipment to bolster the capabilities of the Philippine armed forces. The conflicts in the South China Sea are also threatening the unity of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, of which Thailand is a member. The ASEAN summit last week ended in the most embarrassing outcome, as there was no final communique. This has never happened before in ASEAN's 45-year history. As chair of the summit, Cambodia refused a request by fellow ASEAN members, Philippines and Vietnam, to include in the communique reference to the recent standoff between Philippine naval vessels and Chinese government ships over the Scarborough Shoal, a reef claimed by both countries. Cambodia, with close ties to China, told Beijing's line that such disputes must be settled bilaterally, one-on-one, and should not be discussed at international forums. According to Asian political experts, a worst-case scenario is a serious confrontation in which military force is employed. But the chances of that happening now, at least, are not very high. The best case scenario is for China and ASEAN to agree on a peaceful solution, but the chances of that outcome are not very high either. Experts feel that tensions will continue to ebb and flow in the foreseeable future, with claimants to the islands protesting each other's moves. Meanwhile, ASEAN and China will keep the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties and the Code of Conduct process going, if only to show that they are doing something. Everyone else can twiddle their thumbs while they wait and watch to see what happens as the delicate situation further unfolds.